What's up, you guys? It's Zamara, and I am back already after enjoying my almighty Chick-fil-A sandwich. And as I was eating my sandwich, I had one of those random thoughts that you guys love when I have because my creative process just overtakes and produces good content. And what I had come to mind was young people in the workplace. And the things that I have noticed, and have experienced firsthand. So let me tell you a little bit about my experience when I got my sandwich. There was a girl at Chick-fil-A taking my order in the drive-thru, and apparently she is new because I go to this particular Chick-fil-A often enough to have an idea of who works there and what the crew looks like, right? And she was using the little gun to scan my app, but it wouldn't work. And the reason it wouldn't work was because apparently, according to another team member, she was like, "Oh, it's dead." So she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I'm like, "All right," but I was waiting, and she was like, "Yeah, I won't be able to scan your thing," and I'm like, "All right. Well, how about if you void the transaction and let me order it from the app and just process it because I'm already here, and let's count this like I'm underneath the pickup sign." I'm a person who I always see the solution. There's no such thing as a problem for me. So, you know, the reason I proposed that was because I work in something that's similar. So, like I said, I see the solution. I don't know what her system is like, but I didn't see what the problem would have been with me doing it that way. Um, so, or maybe it would be difficult because maybe they don't process returns. But anyway, that's beside the point. And of course, this is a younger lady, and somebody else, a different team member, different from the one who said that the scan gun is dead. And she was like, "Oh, you can do it by phone number. What's your phone number?" So I started dictating my phone number, and it worked out. And yeah, it's nothing, it's not a bad story. It's just that for whatever reason, I feel like we tend to be intimidated by a job sometimes, and we tend to give up when something that you're not expecting to happen happens. And I feel like we need to work on skills that are more problem solving as opposed to just, not providing something because you're out of the resource or your usual tool is malfunctioning. Especially in this era of computers, we need to figure out ways that we can still perform the same task except differently. And anyway, while I meditated here at home eating my sandwich, I was thinking young people in the workplace tend to need a lot of direction. And I have no idea how working in a different time period was like. Of course, I know that it was rough, like they didn't have laws as to how to work and have a safe workplace type of deal, but let's not get too critical, okay? Let's leave it simple. Let's leave it at the difference between someone who's older versus someone who's younger, and what the mentality of a young worker versus an older, more experienced worker is like. I find that younger workers need more direction. They need to take their job seriously regardless of what their position is, whether it's full-time, part-time, one shift a week, 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, whether it is at a restaurant as a server. But overall, working with food, you should be so mindful of that because diseases can travel so easily. And it's just, you need to have this integrity in you that if you see something wrong or if something falls to the ground, don't be like, oh, the stress of the guest has been waiting for a while and there's inventory on this. Don't let that get in the way of you providing good quality and also ensuring the safety of the consumer. Because let's say if I were to get sick and I can trace it back to your restaurant, I'm gonna try to sue or or get compensation somehow if it's possible, because you are causing an inconvenience in my life because you decided to take a shortcut. You know, that type of mentality, I wish everybody would think that way. I would rather a server come to me and be like, hey, I'm sorry, but your order is going to be a little delayed because just as I was bringing it to you, I happened to drop it. And, I don't want to serve you something that's contaminated. This is a very vague example, but you guys get the idea. Every time, every day that you go work, even if you dislike the place, even if you dislike the job, always do the best that you can, because it's terrible. It speaks bad about you, and it's a lose-lose situation. Always work and strive for excellence, because excellence takes you far. Another thing that young people need to do, if I didn't mention it already, is just take the initiative. Don't wait to be told by your boss or your manager or your leader what you have to do. Just if you see something, own it, even if it's from another department or whatever. If you know that something shouldn't be there or something that you can do just to help out, just do it and be selfless about it. It really goes a long way. And you also need to be reliable. Don't be thinking that you can just call out or be absent like at school, that you can make up the work later. It's different being a worker versus being in a school setting. So that's something that I really wish younger people would know and just roll with. And finally, another thing I thought about is we need to stay focused, because what I'm finding is that people nowadays, they want to hold conversations so badly and have so much fun that they don't realize that we have an agenda that we need to fulfill, and it just speaks horrible of you as a team member and as part of the team. So yeah, you guys, that's really all that I have to say in this matter when it comes to this. But what are your experiences working with young people or as a youngster yourself? And have you ever thought about this? Do you relate to anything that I'm saying? Or do you have anything to just inform me on that I may be missing the point or whatever? I'm not saying that this is just young people who do this, because I have worked with older folks who live a whole lot more for me to wish for. But I'm saying that the tendency and the trend is more popular amongst youngsters. So I just wanted to put the word out there and my thoughts out there, and just, well, let's see what you think. And all right, you guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like or enjoy anything that I do or say in the channel, show me love by giving it a big thumbs up and sharing it anywhere that you would like to or you can. And yeah, let's keep this going. I'll see you soon.